I picked Mags up from school yesterday, and I don't know how we got onto this conversation, but she turned around and said, one of my friend's dads thinks, one of my friend's dads? One of my friend's dad. What's the correct English with that? The correct grammar? One of my friend's dad or one of my friend's dads? Anyway, the dad of one of her friends said that he thinks I'm weird. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. How come? She said that he said because I always walk into. So when I have to get Mags from school, you have to walk through like the gates, through the reception, and then into the big playground where all the parents wait for their kids to come out, be let out by their teachers into the playground, and then we collect our kids. And apparently, he thinks I'm weird because I always walk into the playground with swag. And all, what did she say? With swag and all positive and stuff, moving your body all positive and stuff. I'm like, cool. And I did say, what's he like? And she said, I can't remember the words exactly, but something like, well, I think he's weird because he just smokes and drinks alcohol. I'm like, okay, cool. And then we got onto another conversation. Here's the thing, when you are being different to society's standards, when you heal, or not even when you heal, when you just be your radiant self, because I truly believe we're all souls here having a human experience. I truly believe that we are the light and the extension for God, of God. I truly believe that. Everyone has their own path, everyone has their own journey, everyone is here doing their own thing, being who they're here to be, right? And I've got no judgment on that. I might have opinions about how people should live and shouldn't live, whatever, but opinions are okay. And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong how people are living. So we're all on our own path. But I do believe that we are all here to shine, like Marianne Williamson says. And two things will happen when you do that. When you tap into your soul's light, the divine light that you are, the extension of God that you are, just like the sun rays from the sun. An analogy I use for this is with clients is if you have the sun, then you have clouds covering the sun, but then there's like gaps in the clouds. What you might see is the sun rays coming through, and they might look separate because the clouds. I can't do it. I'm holding my phone, so I can't do it. I usually cover like the palm of my hand as the sun, and just show the fingers like separate fingers. They're the sun's rays, but if you move the cloud out of the way, you'll see the rays are actually connected to the sun. I believe that's all of us. I believe the sun represents, in a sense, source, God, not like religious God, man in the sky, judging people if they're gay. Not about that life whatsoever. Like we're all extensions of the sunbeam. Anyway, two things are going to happen when we live our soul's truest expression, which I believe is joy, which I believe is light, which I believe is this thing called love, which I believe is freedom, expressing ourselves freely. I believe with every fiber of my being that we're all here to do that. And when we do that, two things are going to happen. Multiple things will happen, but the main two things are people are going to see that and go, I remember I'm supposed to be like that. And they're going to be drawn to it and go, hey, help me do more of this. And they might reach out and say, how do you do that? Or they might just watch from a distance to learn and transform by osmosis, right? That's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is it's going to trigger people. It's going to bother people that aren't doing that. And it's going to bother people that aren't living their truth. and maybe hold some of their own shame or judgment around it. Like whoever, I no idea who this dad is, right? By the way, it's interesting how he knows who I am, but I don't know who he is. That's another video, maybe for another day. But I believe, and I hope he watches this. But I believe the fact that he is judging me and talking about me behind my back to his daughter and saying that he's weird for whatever reason. I don't know why I came up in conversation with him. No idea. And I do hope he's what. If you're watching this, like, I fucking love you, bro, and thank you for sharing what you shared, and because it's inspired this video, which might actually help somebody else as well. So thank you. There's no judgment here. There's no hate. There's nothing like that whatsoever. The reason he's doing that is because he feels some shame about doing it himself. Maybe he was shamed for doing it himself when he was a child, because that's usually where it all starts. Maybe he was criticized. Maybe he was judged. Maybe he saw people judging other people living in their truth, living in their light, and he thinks that's what we need to do now is tear other people down and shame other people and judge other people. And that's just his conditioned response to that, which is absolutely fine. We've all been there. I've been there as well. But that doesn't have to be the way. It doesn't have to be the case. He could look at his trigger and go, why does it bother me so much that he walks in with swag, that he walks in with confidence, that he walks in shining his light? Why does it bother me so much? That's what he could do. He could go in and go, it bothers me maybe because I feel called to do that, but I'm not doing it. So I'll not walk in with swag. I'll walk in with hunched shoulders, rounded shoulders, head down, on my phone. Like, I see so many parents in the playground doing that. Maybe he's wearing clothes that don't really express his soul's personality. And there's no judgment here. It's observation of what I see. And there's that old story, that old adage, that old saying that says it's so much easier to tear somebody else's building down than it is to build up your own. It's so much easier. And society's conditioned to do that. We create stories about other people. We judge other people. We try and shame other people. We criticize other people rather than actually celebrating other people. And because he could just come up to me in the playground and be like, dude, I see you walking with swag and confidence and positivity all the time, every time you come into this playground. What's the crack? Like, what's going on? Like, how do you do it in the world that we live in with everything that's going on in the world? Like, what's your secret? He could do that. Or what he's choosing to do is judge me as weird because I'm not conforming to the way society would have me be. And I have in the past, and I've been there in the past. This is why I can offer compassion to the guy and anybody else who's being like that. I offer so much compassion to that because I've been that guy. And coming out on the other side of it, having been the caterpillar crawling around in the mud and transforming into the butterfly. That's why I had to buy this hat. When I saw it, I'm like, I have to buy this because it's everything I stand for. Transformation, being the butterfly that we're here to be, let go of the caterpillar way of being, maybe entering into a cocoon of doing the work in the cocoon, right? Anyone that's been on a healing journey, knows what that cocoon phase is like. It's gooey and messy and death happens and it's just sticky and uncomfortable and horrible. But then when you break out and you break in to who you're here to be, it's beautiful and it's freeing, it's liberating. And so for anybody, what am I saying? Maybe you've picked up something from this message already. It was in my heart to share this. As soon as she told me about that, and I sat with it for the last 24, because it was yesterday, sat with it for about 24 hours, probably about 20 hours, not 24 hours. Something was in me to speak on it, to share about it. We can either judge others for the light and the expression and how they're being in the world, or we can look inside and go, why is it bothering me? Why has that triggered me so much? What's here for me? It's disturbed my equilibrium. Why is that? He's obviously got a problem with being seen because he's judging me for being okay with being seen. He holds shame about his expression. I already know this. He holds shame about his expression because he's shaming me for my expression in one way or another. So it's all projection. He said he shouldn't be like, he's weird. Maybe he was called weird for being how he wanted to be when he was a kid. And now he's suppressing that. And now he's in pain. I know he's in pain because he's smoking and drinking. We don't smoke and drink and if we're living our absolute highest and best life and the truth of our soul's expression. We don't do that. We don't put toxins in. We don't kill ourselves if we're truly happy with who we are, living our truth. I don't want to kill myself. I'm recently back from a place where it's probably one of the most popular places on planet Earth for alcohol, drugs, smoking, and I stayed completely sober through the whole of that experience. I was around it. I was being offered it. Very recently, I was in that environment. Not to go to do that. It's also a place that's very healing, very therapeutic, very spiritual, very clean. I went for that part of it. But I didn't need to do any of that escaping stuff or suppressing of pain or numbing of pain because there's no pain. He smokes and drinks because there's pain. He's numbing. He's judging others like me walking in the playground all positive and light and with swag because he's in pain. He's carrying pain. That's why he's you can only give what you've got. So he's got pain. So that's why he was giving it. And again, I'm just meeting that pain, receiving that pain, recycling it and sending back love to him. I might even ask like Maggs to point him out so I can make a point of being like, I don't know what I might do in that moment. But it wouldn't be met with hostility or aggression or like, what are you saying about me behind my back? What are you talking about? Why are you judging me, telling your kids I'm weird? It's not going to be met with that. It's going to be met with love. I might be like, hey man, I love your shirt. Find something about him that I love. Hey man, love the sneakers that you're wearing, the shoes that you're wearing. Hey man, love the hair today. I don't know. I might just give him a smile. I might let him win the dad's race if I'm against him this year, if that happens. Who knows what spirit would have me do in the situation and circumstance. That's the end of the video. I share because I care. I share because it's in my heart. I share because I was inspired to. I need nothing from you on this. I may have invited you at the start of this or in the words that are next to this video to listen to the gold that might be here for you. See how this might relate to you. See if you can be inspired by something that I've shared. Reach out if you are triggered by stuff in the world and you feel like you're not living your truth and expressing your truth, or you have shame or fear around being who you are in the world and you want to release that so that you can be who you're here to be in the world and have the experience while you're here to be who you're actually here to be, live how you are actually here to live, so that by the end of your life you don't have any regrets, you don't have any regrets of, I wish I'd have just done the thing and didn't let fear bother me or fear stop me. I wish I'd have just done it. We don't want to get to the end of your life and you have that, right? And we can prevent that from happening by doing the work now to release any of the restrictions that might be in the way, perceived or actual, so that you can actually live your truth while you're here and be fulfilled and live a meaningful life and a purposeful life and just the life that you are actually here to live, regardless of what conditions have been there in the past, regardless of what stories are there, regardless of what fear is there, regardless of what insecurities are there, regardless of what inhibitions are there. We're here to free you and liberate you from all of those so that you can live your truest soul's expression while you're here. And I'm like, if there's anything I can say, I've been the guy that's lived the conditioned life, lived the fear-based life, and I've also been the guy that's lived the no inhibitions life and the free life. And I choose the latter every single time, and I will do everything I can to help as many people as possible. I've currently got a goal to have 1 million people impacted positively by my work in the world. And I'll do whatever I can to help as many people as possible to live this way too. Thank you very much for watching. I love you. That's the message.